Have you ever found yourself asking, why does he do that? Or maybe, why is he pulling away when things are going so well? What if I told you the answers to these baffling questions often lie not in what you're doing, but in the invisible shadows of his past? What if his ex-girlfriend, the one you've never met, is actually influencing your current relationship right now? Sounds wild, right? But it's true. And today, we're going to uncover how those past hurts, those old patterns, are silently shaping your partner's behavior, and more importantly, what you can do about it to build a stronger, more loving future together. Stay with me, because this conversation could change everything. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was head over heels for Mark. He was charming, funny, attentive, everything she thought she wanted. But then, after a few months, a weird pattern emerged. Every time Sarah brought up moving in together or even just spending holidays with both their families, Mark would get this distant look in his eyes. He'd become quiet, almost cold. He'd say things like, "Let's not rush things," or "I just need my space." Sarah was devastated. She blamed herself, thinking she was too needy, too demanding. She even thought maybe he just wasn't that into her. What Sarah didn't know was that Mark's previous relationship had ended explosively, with his ex-girlfriend constantly pushing him for commitments he wasn't ready for, ultimately leaving him feeling suffocated and trapped. He loved Sarah deeply, but a part of him, an almost primal part, was still braced for that old pain. He wasn't pulling away because of Sarah. He was pulling away from the ghost of his past, a past that had taught him commitment equaled pain. Sound familiar? We've all been there, in some form or another. 10 key insights. 1. The echo of unresolved trauma. Think of his past relationships like an old, dusty attic in his mind. If he experienced a significant betrayal, abandonment, or emotional hurt, that dust doesn't just disappear. It settles on his current interactions. So if his ex cheated, he might be hypervigilant for signs of disloyalty in you, even if you're the most trustworthy person on the planet. He's not distrusting you, he's distrusting the scenario because his brain remembers the pain associated with it. This isn't about you earning his trust, it's about him healing his own wounds. 2. The "if I commit, I'll get hurt" defense. Some men, especially after a particularly painful breakup where they felt blindsided or deeply hurt, develop a subconscious defense mechanism. If I commit fully, I'll be vulnerable to that pain again. This isn't a conscious thought, it's an ingrained response. He might appear hot and cold, or seem to pull back just when things are getting serious. It's not a reflection of his feelings for you, but a fear of revisiting past hurt. It's like his heart has an invisible shield up, and he's not even aware he's using it. 3. The replay of communication breakdowns. If his previous relationships were riddled with arguments, misunderstandings, or a lack of open communication, he might carry those patterns forward. He might avoid difficult conversations, shut down when confronted, or even struggle to express his feelings. He's not doing it to hurt you. He's doing it because that's the communication style he learned, or perhaps what he had to adapt to for survival in his past dynamic. He might genuinely not know how to communicate in a healthier way. 4. The shadow of his ex's expectations. Believe it or not, sometimes your partner's behavior is a direct reaction to his ex's unreasonable or overwhelming expectations. If his last partner demanded constant attention, criticized his every move, or tried to control him, he might subconsciously resist any suggestion from you, even if it's perfectly reasonable, simply because it feels like a familiar trap. He's not resisting your request. He's resisting the ghost of a past demand. 5. The "I need my space" reflex. This is a big one. If a past relationship felt suffocating, intrusive, or lacked personal boundaries, your partner might have an exaggerated need for space or alone time. This isn't a sign he doesn't want you. It's a learned coping mechanism to regain a sense of autonomy. He might disappear for a few hours or seem distant when you're together, not because he's losing interest, but because he's unconsciously trying to protect his personal boundaries that were once violated. 6. The fear of disappointment. If your partner repeatedly failed to meet the expectations of a previous partner, or felt constantly judged and criticized, he might carry a deep-seated fear of disappointing you. This can manifest as perfectionism, avoidance of new challenges, or even a reluctance to try new things with you, because the internal narrative is, "I'll just mess it up anyway." His past experiences have taught him that his efforts are never enough, and that's a heavy burden to carry. 7. The unconscious search for the familiar. Sometimes people, without even realizing it, seek out dynamics that are familiar, even if those dynamics were unhealthy. If his past relationships involved a lot of drama, on-again, off-again cycles, or even emotional manipulation, he might unconsciously gravitate towards similar patterns in your relationship. It's not that he wants the drama, it's that it's the only emotional landscape he's ever really known. It feels normal, even if it's toxic. 8. The test to see if you're different. If he's been deeply hurt before, he might subconsciously test you to see if you're truly different. This isn't malicious, it's a protective measure. He might pull away slightly to see if you chase, or act distant to see if you care enough to understand. He's not playing games, he's looking for reassurance that you won't repeat the patterns of his past. He's looking for proof that you're safe. 9. The unspoken resentment of past sacrifice. In some past relationships, a man might have felt like he constantly had to sacrifice his needs, desires, or even his identity for his partner. This can lead to deep-seated resentment that he carries into his current relationship. He might become fiercely protective of his hobbies, his friends, or his personal time, not because he doesn't value you, but because he's still fighting the ghost of a past where he felt completely consumed. 10. The ghost of comparison. This is a tough one. If his past relationship was particularly passionate, tumultuous, or left a significant mark, he might unconsciously compare you to his ex. This isn't to say he loves you less, but a part of his brain might be trying to make sense of the new dynamic by referencing the old one. This can manifest as him holding back emotionally, or seeming to have an idealized version of a past relationship in his mind. It's not about you being better or worse than his ex. It's about him learning to appreciate your unique and wonderful qualities without the lens of his past. Conclusion. Understanding these hidden influences isn't about blaming his ex or even blaming him. It's about gaining clarity, about recognizing that his behavior often isn't about you, but about the echoes of his past. When you understand this, you can approach these situations with more empathy, patience, and a powerful new strategy. It allows you to shift from feeling hurt and confused to being an empowering force in your relationship. You have the power to help him heal, not by fixing him, but by creating a safe space where he can unlearn old patterns and build new, healthy ones with you. By setting clear boundaries, communicating openly, and showing consistent love and reassurance, you can help him rewrite his relationship story. Here's your pro tip. The next time you find yourself scratching your head, wondering why your partner is reacting a certain way, instead of immediately getting defensive, ask yourself, could this be connected to something from his past? Then gently and empathetically try to open a conversation about it. Something like, "Hey, I noticed when we talked about X, you seemed to withdraw. I'm wondering if something in your past might be making you feel uneasy about it." This creates a space for vulnerability, not accusation. If this video resonated with you, if you've ever felt these confusing emotions, then you are not alone, and you are in the right place. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our heart-to-heart chats, and leave a comment below telling me which of these insights hit home for you the most. I love reading your stories and connecting with you all. Until next time, keep loving, keep growing, and keep shining, because you are worth a love story that truly thrives.